music.
John Mayer, John Mayer, John Mayer, you have done it again. Your music is a wonderland. Okay, that's a stretch, but I'm a stretcher, baby. The Adventures of Rocky and Dee add another concert to our list. I'll never forget, in 2019, it was a Friday night, I was walking into the Tempest Bar on 8th Avenue, and I saw a sign outside the bar that said, John Mayer was at Madison Square Garden. And I looked at my friend and I said, John Mayer can sell out Madison Square Garden? He could sell it out then and he can sell it out now, baby. What a show. When you're walking into Madison Square Garden, no one scans your ticket. They just have people that work there stand next to the ticket scanner. And these talking heads just sharply say the word tap to you. Tap, tap, tap. So yeah, we were high on marijuana from the earth. And Dee did tap the tapper with her finger, which is exactly what I would have done if I had the tickets on my phone. So we just stood there, tapping, looking at the lady, tapping, looking back at the lady's looking back at us. This woman said tap at us so many times, I thought she was gonna bust out with a fucking kickball change next. At this point, lady, you're gonna have to do this for us because we done tapped about 8 times. Finally, she says, the phone. Tap the phone. Like we were the idiots. Lady, if you're gonna stand there and get your paper, yes, go off, queen. Work hard for the money. Just scan our ticket for us. You see, we're struggling over here. I know you need banter to talk about with the other people who tell people to tap tickets in the line when the line dulls down, but I don't want to be the brunt of the break room gossip. Help us out. They're not paying you to judge us, and you can judge us. We're very judgeable, but at least do it while you're helping us scan our ticket. When we got up to our seats, we were smack dab in the middle, which we were more than happy to be at. We had a great view. Nobody was there yet. The vibes were right. But being in the middle of a row does come with its cumbersome challenges. Especially for me, because I don't want anybody boxing me in. Especially post-pandy with all the breathing and the sweating and the talking and the spitting. There was one time when a woman sneezed and I felt like she was inside of me. So yeah, we do like a little bit of elbow room. And then essentially you gotta ask permission to pee like you're in school, which has never been my specialty. Listen, I peed myself 2 days in a row in first grade because I didn't want to ask to go to the bathroom. We should never have to ask permission to do this. But this isn't about my stance on pee breaks. This is about John Mayer, damn it. Well, it's a little bit about pee breaks because I got up to pee and before I could make it to the loo, out comes John Mayer to start the show. Yes, the second I got away from the seats and started walking to the bathroom. He just couldn't wait for your girl to get back. And he started with Heartbreak Warfare, which is my favorite John Mayer song. And there are a lot of John Mayer songs to choose from. So what could I do? I wasn't about to run to the bathroom like a goof. No offense to the 4 goofs I saw running back to their seats. I just had to deal. I had to be happy that I was in the place where the thing was happening. Plus, I'm glad I didn't start sprinting back to my seat because when it came time to find Dee and where we were sitting, I couldn't find our seats. I go to one section, it's one section too far over, and now I gotta do my least favorite thing twice. Act like I'm sorry I walked through the aisle. There you have it, universe. There's my goof moment. It was so dark in there, and I got so lost trying to find Dee. I get back to what I think was our row, and Dee was gone. This is my nightmare. Lost in Madison Square Garden after missing the artist we came to see has played my favorite song, and it's dark. Ugh. Then boom, there she was. Turns out originally we actually were sitting in the wrong seats. We were supposed to be in the row ahead of us, which is a bonus for us, because now we're one row closer to John Mayer. He played so many songs. Oh my God, he played so many songs. He went from one seat to another seat. He went from big guitar to small guitar, piano, playing piano and guitar at the same time. He had his little jokes in between because everybody knows John Mayer wishes he was a stand-up comedian. And they were pretty funny and pretty cute. He sang Your Body is a Wonderland and he made all these jokes about it. Then he sang Neon and it was all by himself. There was no band. There was no backup singers. There was no bullshit. Just him, baby. I get it why all these broads went swimming every time Neil Diamond came on stage. I get it why women threw their panties at Bobby Brown. Watching a rock star just be up there and be a rock star is motherfucking sexy. So sexy that I needed a little take the edge off joint. But we decided we couldn't just spark up with all these people amongst us. Sometimes you can feel the vibes, and the vibes are, yeah, we can smoke in this crowd. And sometimes you feel the vibes, and you know that someone's going to complain. And I can tell you at least 2 of the people in our area would have complained. And then we got a thing. One of them would have been the girl that sneezed. Oh my God, just sneezed into your fucking elbow. What is this, your first day with a mouth? The vibe check was not right to smoke, but the time was right to light the peace pipe. Me being Rocky Powell, I like to have a friend everywhere I go. And in this instance, my friend Casey was one section over, about 20 rows down. The section she had moved herself to was a little bit obstructed, so they didn't sell tickets to it, so no one was sitting over there. And I guess at the start of the concert, her and a bunch of other people moved down there. If I wasn't dealing with my bathroom fiasco, we probably would have joined her. So shout out to you, Casey, for putting us onto that section. And for the last 30 minutes of the concert, Dee and I really had some elbow room. I light up the joint to take us home for these last 30 minutes, and out of my periphery, I see this girl. She leaned over her friend's lap, she outstretched her arm, and she starts clamping her left hand at me like she's making shadow puppets, begging for the joint. I've barely had 2 puffs, and Stretch Armstrong is coming at me like I'm trapped in a well and she's about to save me. I didn't engage, which I know. As the host of a podcast called Wild Nights, that may not be the answer you want to hear. You want to hear that I smoked this girl up and it turns out she's John Mayer's second cousin and she's going to take us backstage on account of me being so generous. But this is a post-COVID world, baby, and you can't be sharing everything with everyone. People are gross. Last month, I wouldn't smoke a joint with someone because they had a piece of pepper in their teeth. And yes, I did tell them in a chill way. Always tell someone in a chill way. You don't have to make it a thing. We're all humans. All of us. But that doesn't make us any less nasty. In fact, it makes us more nasty. So now, because this woman is reaching at me, I owe her my weed? I don't think so. But if I'm being honest with you, which I am, it was way less about sharing the weed. That is why they call it a peace pipe. You are supposed to share your weed. It always comes back to you. And yes, people are gross, but you can feel it when it's okay to share your weed with somebody. So I say all that humans being gross stuff a bit in jest. And I'll tell you what really bothered me. It was her tactic that got under my skin. The claw hand entitlement that turned me really off. By ignoring this person's pleas, I taught her a valuable lesson. And she can take that with her to any concert. When you want weed from a stranger, be more smooth with it. Plus, I don't care if she was 8 rabbits in a human suit trying to get my attention. I was not taking my eyes off Johnny Boy, especially the last 30 minutes of the show. Are you fucking nuts? Sorry, Inspector Gadget, put that begging-ass arm down. He closed the show with Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, which is so special because my family loves Tom Petty. We've seen him in concert together a bunch of times, and we are so bummed that he's not here anymore, truly. So to be standing next to Dee, having this experience, watching John Mayer sing a song that we've watched Tom Petty sing live together that's so special to our family was just such a great moment. Another Rocky and Dee adventure for the books. And he didn't even need to play Gravity this time.
It's time for
the
Rocky
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello! Did you have a good week? I sure hope so. I hope you celebrated St. Patrick's Day with the utmost fun one little leprechaun could have. On St. Patrick's Day, I met a celebrity briefly. That's right. I looked up, and right there to my left in front of me was This Is Us's own Sterling K. Brown. Yes. And man, oh man, is there a reason this man is famous? He is gorgeous. From top to absolute bottom. I have to meet or be around famous or pretty well-known people on a semi-regular basis, and I usually can keep my cool, especially the longer I do it. But this was not the case with SKP. I saw this man, and I started shaking like a goddamn leaf. What I thought I said to him was, I'm a huge fan of This Is Us. Which, in reality, I stopped watching the show in January 2021, not because of the show's plotline quality. That was great. I couldn't stand the inconsistency of when the episodes came out. It was all because of their COVID shooting schedule, but it was so inconsistent. There is way too much jumping back and forth, history, present, past, future on that show to have these 3-week breaks in between each episodes. Come on now. But I told this man I was a big fan of This Is Us. But when I said This Is Us, I said I'm a big fan of This Is. I'm a big fan of This Is. Hey, Sterling K. Brown, I'm a big fan of This Is. Like a fucking fool. He grabbed what I can only imagine is a washboard chest and did a little head tilt and thanked me. What is that? Why do our brains just short circuit like that? I know it's happened to you. Everybody does it. But why do our brains decide when the words are going to remix? Words have the power to be the whiskey dick of a conversation. And that was the last time I'm going to use the words whiskey dick negatively. I was listening to the podcast The Shift, which is hosted by comedian Katie Boyle. And she was saying something along the lines of that whiskey dick she feels is derogatory or kind of in the slur family against the Irish. And I have to agree. She goes on to explain what whiskey dick is. And if you don't know, I'll tell you. It's when a guy can't get hard after drinking. So you can't have sex or do any of the fun stuff you're supposed to do with a penis because it's soft like Jell-O. And it usually always has to do with drinking. Not just whiskey. It can happen with any excess alcohol they drink. But the negative connotation of whiskey dick is getting associated with the Irish. The Irish are taking the brunt, and I have to agree with Katie. And I want you to listen to me, because I'm somewhat of a scientist or a researcher or somebody who checks hypotheses. I've been out in the world, and I have done my own research. I am well-versed in Irish men. As any good journalist would do, I've collected the data, and Irish men are out here absolutely holding it down. Or I guess I should say, they're out here holding it up. Thanks to Katie Boyle, I'm going to change the name of Whiskey Dick to Gin Drained. Vodka Nodka, happening tonight-ka. But that one's a mouthful. Lucky for you, you'll have all the room in the world in your mouth to say it, because he'll have a case of the mezcal letdown. What do you think the new phrase to replace whiskey dick should be? Listen to The Shift, hosted by Katie Boyle, when you have a chance. And right now, I need you to listen to Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, nothing is ever by accident, even if it's by accident. Number 2, I got 99 problems with Amazon, but them delivering on a Sunday ain't one. Number 3, what if the fish hooks that are in the water trying to catch the fish feel like the best drug that fish could ever try when it snags its poor face? What if they know the consequences and they've heard the tales of the fish they've lost before, but they want the thrill of that fish hook more than anything, even if it kills them? And number 4, do you think that your phone could ever get so close, if not get to the level of singularity in our lifetimes, that if your phone gets mad at you, it could turn off your alarms and you wouldn't wake up on time in the morning? Be careful out there. Don't get got by a robot. My guest this week is comedian Courtney Maginnis. Courtney's wild word was Lindsay Lohan. The Queen of Mean is back in our ether and all over the second half of this episode. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram, at Wild Nights Pod on Twitter. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, please subscribe on YouTube. If you'd like to support the show with your wallets, you can pay $2 or $5 a month. $5 will get you a weekly Irish word so you can learn Irish alongside me. And I think that's really nice. supporting the show, and supporting an endangered language. A big thank you and a future thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review on Apple Podcasts when this episode is over. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Courtney Maginnis. Courtney, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Rocky. What a time. I'm so excited to be here.
What a time to be alive. I'm telling you. Well, actually, it really is a time for you to be alive because we talked about it a little before the recording, but you right now are at one of my favorite places in the country, Mohegan Sun Casino.
Unbelievable. The casino, you can still smoke inside. So
Yeah.
that's how you know everyone's real as fuck here.
Yeah.
I will say, the Friday night show, there was snow. It was snowing in the Poconos right now. So there was snow and we still got a crowd and they were great and so drunk and high and it was a blast. So I'm ready for tonight. I'm ready for night two.
Here is where maybe I'm a little narcissista, but here's where I am like thinking, I thought you were at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, but that makes total sense. You're at the Mohegan Sun in Pennsylvania. I've actually never been to that one.
It's exactly the same. It's just in the Poconos.
Yeah.
I asked someone, I was like, do you feel like the clientele is different between the two of them? And they were like, and I'm like,
not at all.
Gambling people are gambling people.
Gambling people, yes. Does that Mohegan Sun, do it have other casinos around it, or is it solo like the other one?
It's solo. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of sheets around here and like Panera bread, but like not much else.
What's a sheets?
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut originally.
You're from Connecticut. Okay. So I think it's maybe like a southern thing, but it's in Pennsylvania too, because they're trying to compete with Wawa. But basically it's a Wawa. But I'm from Virginia, so we had sheets. So it's like they have like amazing sandwiches, like made to order sandwiches, and it's like a really elaborate gas station.
Okay, gotcha.
But the food is fucking great.
Really? Okay, so we're getting rave reviews on Sheetz gas station food, and honestly, no, but you have to take someone like you who goes on the road and goes to different places. If you're saying that this place has good food, people do have to take that at face value, not at face value. They have to take it like for what it is, because
I love to eat.
Yeah, I love to eat, girl. I honestly have egg salad on one side of me right now and chips on the other, which is not the most glamorous life, but it's mine.
That was not a flex.
No. But it is not the most glamorous life, but it is mine. You know what? I actually heard through the grapevine. Now, we're laughing, we're giggling on egg salad, but I actually heard that is one of Lindsay Lohan's favorite dishes.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't, but I did think it would be a good segue into the story because Courtney's wild word was Lindsay Lohan. So Courtney, please, I'm dying to hear it. Give me your wild night story, Lindsay Lohan.
First of all, I just want to take 1 minute for that unbelievable transition. Okay, that is profession right there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm very excited because this story is unbelievable, is my favorite thing to tell people, and is also wildly inappropriate. But it was a different time. How old are you, Rocky? Do you mind me asking?
No, I don't at all. I'm 34. I'll be 35 next month.
Okay. Yeah. This is great. I just turned 35. So the time period that I'm going to take you to is you are very familiar with. You are very
okay, perfect.
Okay.
I love it.
This was like when we were young hotties.
Okay. But we're still young hotties.
I mean, I'm glad you said it.
I watch your comedy. I know you're always like, I'm young, I'm hot. I'm young, I'm hot. And I was like, that is my people right there, because I'm young and hot.
I don't care.
But a younger, a better metabolism version of us.
A different time. So this is the early 2000s. And yes, we were still young and hot, but this is when we were younger and hotter. Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember the time? I mean, this is the time period. The girls that are on top were Britney, Lindsay, Paris. Everyone was like, these girls are crazy. And I was like, these girls are icons. These girls are everything I've ever wanted to be in my life. Just effortless party girls, so fun. Just this is back. I don't know if you remember this time when it was cool to not wear underwear.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or
And
thongs were coming into
oh,
the ether. Yeah.
absolutely, of course. Well, that was happening, but also it was cool to like get the paparazzi to take a picture of your pussy. Do you
Yeah.
remember this time?
I do. I do.
It was one of the greatest moments of my life, and I am honored to live through that history. Okay,
Yeah.
incredible. So I was in New York City. I was going to I went to fashion school. I went to FIT.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
Hey.
don't look at my outfit, but no, I did go to fashion school. So like, my college was it was 27th Street between 7th and 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I honestly have no idea where the clubs in New York City are right now, and that's so
Yeah.
embarrassing.
That's
But like,
okay. Yeah.
but back in the day, that was like everything was like in the Meatpacking or Chelsea or
Yeah.
like just way on the West Side, and it was like, to me, it was like prime club time. This is like right before the rise of Jersey Shore. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It was like everyone was a little clubby, like
We were going out
we were
dancing. Yeah.
going out dancing, and like electronic music was like becoming pop music. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like a certain specific time. So when I first moved to New York, I was living on 27th Street, and it was just FIT is just a billion hot fashion girls, and they're
Yeah.
all like 18 to 22. It's the most insane block in New York, I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
say. It was like grown men on like their lunch break would come eat lunch at like our campus, because it was just certified hotties everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so at night, every weekend night, a bunch of club promoters would come, and they would like hang out in front, be like, "Girls trying to go out," and I would be like, "Yeah." Like,
Of course I am. Yeah. Yeah.
why do you think I moved here, to stay in my farm? Okay.
Which is
Um,
impossible to get into at FIT. You got to give them like
right.
your
Yes,
firstborn if you want to get.
exactly.
I have some friends that went there. Yeah, you got to give them like your firstborn if you want to enter their dorms.
Truly, and you're like not supposed to come in drunk, which is like, bitch.
Impossible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just moved to New York,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be drunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drunk.
So we used to go out with these club promoters, which is, I mean, it is my vibe, but it's not my vibe. But like when
Hmm.
I was 18, that was my vibe. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to these like cheesy clubs. They used to like just hand us whoever's ID. I've like walked in with like an Asian girl's ID and just been like, hi. And they
Hey,
were like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
So this one specific night, I didn't really want to go out, but my one of my best friends, we're still best friends. It's her birthday party next week. I love
yeah,
her. For over 15 years we've been friends. We're going to Plum, which Plum was one of these Chelsea clubs. I think it was on 14th Street. It was
hmm,
just like prime cheesy early 2000s, like just the club, like
perfection.
perfection. Like
Hmm.
picture what you like where they would get cocktails and Sex in the City, and like that
Yeah,
is like kind of what it was like. Okay.
like a
And
big open warehouse club, and like there's dancing. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
people are like dancing on couches, like
Yeah,
everyone gets what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
And so we go to this club, and I'm standing at the coat check with my best friend Genevieve, and someone pushes into me, and I like kind of fall into my friend Genevieve. And at first I was like, what the fuck? But my friend Genevieve grabs me in a way that I was like, what? And she goes, that was Lindsay Lohan. And I was like, what the fuck? I literally, like,
yeah,
my eyes rolled back in my head. I became a demon, because at the time, Lindsay Lohan was the queen. She was like,
yeah,
literally walked in with a Red Bull. Like, it was just like the most 2000, I think it was like 2007. She was
yeah.
with
That makes
Samantha
sense.
Ronson. It was
They
like,
were dating, right?
yes.
Hmm.
And Samantha Ronson was DJ. And I was just like, oh my God, Lindsay Lohan just pushed me. I'm never leaving the city ever. I'm going to live here
Yeah,
forever. I'm going to die here. This is the most magical place on earth. Like,
I've made it. I've made it.
I've
Yeah,
truly made all my dreams have come true. I can just coast now.
yeah,
And so we go upstairs, and our table happens to be right by the DJ booth. So I'm literally like looking up at Lindsay Lohan, like a few feet away from me. I'm
yeah.
losing my fucking mind. All right. And we're just like trying to be cool, trying to be like, whatever, getting fucking hammered, wasted, talking to like old businessmen, being like, yeah, I go to FAT, whatever.
Yeah, buy our
Yeah,
drinks.
exactly,
Yeah.
literally. And so then my friend Genevieve, it was digital camera days. We didn't have
Yes.
smartphones,
Oh
so
yeah.
you have your phone, your smartphone. I mean, your phone, your digital camera. So my friend Genevieve's like, I'm gonna get a picture of Lindsay. Just like pretend you're like I'm taking a picture of you. I was like, got it, you know? And so I'm just like posing and she's like taking a picture of Lindsay, but like my like piece of hair is like in the side of, you know what I mean?
It's like the tip of your pinky nail, yeah.
I'm like, hey, my drink and my straw. And so take the picture, party all night, go home. That's, you know, whatever. The next morning, sleeping in my dorm. I wake up. She's like, she calls me and she's like, you have to get to my room right this second. And I'm like hungover and I'm like, what? Like, she's like, get here right now. And I go over to her dorm. There is a crowd in her dorm room. Okay. And this is in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
And I walk in and that picture that she had taken is 100% true.
Yeah.
That picture that she had taken, you can see Lindsay Lohan's pussy. I fell to the ground. The emotions that overcame me. My friend took one of the iconic Lindsay paparazzi pussy photos.
Holy shit. She could have probably got a lot of money for that. I doubt she sold it, right?
She did not sell it.
Yeah.
But what? But that bitch was on Perez Hilton immediately. It was like she was wearing tights with no underwear and like pulling up her dress, like scratching the side of her dress. I mean, Britney's pussy had just come out. Remember that iconic where she's stepping out of the car, full bare pussy. Iconic. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo of it. Okay. You got to. Paris showed her pussy, and now Lindsay had already showed her pussy, and she's like, let me show my pussy again.
Yeah.
And I mean, how am I supposed to continue life like that? You know, like how am I supposed to top that in my life? I was a moment in, again, herstory.
Yeah.
And I just felt honored to be there and to be in the presence.
You were essentially the reason that the photo happened, because if you didn't pose for it, this would not have existed. That's fucking insane. And I just really want to double down on the intensity of this story and the intensity of having possession of this photo with the digital camera, because this is not something that you could have texted in your dorm. Our phones, like, they might not have been Nokia phones back then, but they weren't quite iPhones.
No,
so there was no like sending pictures of something. You had to wake up the next morning, take an adapter, plug your phone or plug your camera into a computer to upload your pictures. Like, you just sit there and go through all of them. It was a whole ordeal.
It was a whole ordeal, and the entire dormitory had to gather. It's like there was no airdrop, so like the camaraderie of having to gather around an old MacBook and just be like, you can see her pussy. It was like we were speechless.
Yeah. Now, at that night in the club, did you, I have another pussy picture question, but at that night in the club, did you end up like kind of circling around her, like dance, like having your vibe be near her vibe? Or
we were trying so hard to get as close to her as possible. But it was literally like the DJ booth was like, so like the back of the couch was like where the DJ booth started. So she was like above us. And I was like, kept being like, I wonder if she's looking and noticing. She could not. Does she see us? She could not give a single fuck, but she was right there. And the energy I was putting out was like, Lindsay, I think that we would really get along and be friends. And
I have a lot to tell you.
I have a lot to tell you. I think we're kindred spirits. And then she was just like drinking Red Bull.
Yeah.
Incredible. What a queen.
That's amazing.
Did you see her Netflix Christmas movie?
I will say this, not out of not wanting to see it, I just haven't yet. I remember the holidays were so crazy, there was so much going on, but I remember being like, this is on my list, this is on my list, this is on my list. And no one really said anything like it was terrible or it was bad. It was just kind of like, just watch it for yourself.
Just watch it. Just watch it. That's all you can say. I mean, personally, I think it was the best terrible movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
But I don't want to put those stakes on you. I want you to enjoy Lindsay for Lindsay. I found it just like 90 minutes of magic. That's
90
how,
minutes. Okay.
yeah.
I will take your recommendation and I will watch it because I love Lindsay Lohan.
I
Like
love Lindsay Lohan.
I love her. Like she basically she came out, we grew up with her and she was always just cool. There was no kind of like, you know, there are people who came up that are celebrities, particularly female celebrities, where you'd be like, I don't like her and I don't know why. It's like Lindsay
Yeah.
Lohan, you really did feel like she could be your friend.
She felt like she could be your friend. I was like, all my friends like found coke in their pocket. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. She is just so wild and cool and like such a the energy of the time was so because it was also like I mean, as a public, we treated her horribly. We
Yeah.
treated Britney horribly. We treated her horribly. There was
Yeah.
no like the rise of the paparazzi and all of that whole time period. It's like she didn't give a fuck about what any of us said.
Yeah.
And she made an incredible song about it.
Yeah.
And to
Rumors, in case anyone
rumors.
doesn't know what you're talking about.
Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, you're homophobic.
Yeah, and that's a fact. And you can put that in writing on a t-shirt and you better wear it so we know. Identify yourselves.
She just did never gave a fuck about anyone, and I love that
Yeah.
attitude. And she also like okay, this is a great example.
Tell
Do you
me.
remember how she had the nightclub? She had a club in Greece, right?
Yes, the famous like
Yes,
yeah,
the
yeah.
dance. Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Okay. That could be a whole other podcast, that dance move. But she there was an Instagram for that, and two waitresses there posted photos of them in their little matching dresses, like not Saturday night at whatever it was.
Yeah.
And Lindsay Lohan commented, wear matching shoes next time or you're fired.
Well, it was a show.
Right, it was a show.
Yeah.
And so they were like promoting that and they were wearing different shoes. And Lindsay was just not having it. She's just 100% been her, living her own fucking haters can fucking choke. Okay. She can show her pussy no matter where, what. It doesn't
matter. It really
That's
doesn't
her
matter.
fucking pussy. I love her.
I know. I'm really rooting for a Lindsay comeback. I remember, and I know I'm saying this to the right audience right now, but Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, her movie.
Yes. Yes.
With Eli Marienthal.
This was like bordering on like I'm a little too old to watch. I know we're the same age, but like I was like a little too old to watch it, but I watched it and I loved it.
I loved it. I went to the movie theaters to see it. Well, I also went to see it because Eli Marienthal, who is Stifler's younger brother in American Pie, I just used to think he was so hot, and he was the lead guy in that movie.
Such a hottie.
Like, we are going to this, and it had the song. It was like back when like movies would do songs with their movie. It was just great. But you are a big pop culture gal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love it all. I mean, I'm wearing a Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's Britney. Did you get that from? Yeah, did you get that from a concert, Britney concert?
I did not get this. This was a gift. Okay. But I've seen Britney multiple times. I saw Britney in Las Vegas. I saw the residency.
What did you think of the Vegas show?
Unmotherfucking believable. The power that this woman has, I can't even begin. I tried to post videos of it when I went, but in every video I took, I'm just screaming, Brenda. Yeah. And so you can't hear anything. So she is amazing, and she does not need to perform. She does not need to do anything ever again. She can just live her life. Speaking of another person we treated like fucking shit as a culture, and she can just live. And I love
Britney can just live her life. I do live for her Instagrams.
Oh, I love her Instagram, and I know people want me like people know what a big fan I am, and so people will always be like, "You seen her Instagram?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything, okay? I'm not gonna say anything. Britney can twirl all the fuck she wants, okay? Yeah. She's brought me so much to my life, all right? Yeah. Yeah. I was saying too, I saw the Dream Within a Dream tour. Remember the one where it rained at the end? I saw that in like 99 or 2000 or whenever it was.
I have to admit something very embarrassing, very sad to my own personal journey and walk through life, but I've never seen Britney in concert. And I have been to dozens on dozens of concerts, and I have never seen Britney. And that is a huge that sucks for me.
Maybe one day. Who knows?
Maybe one
What
day.
what who have you seen that you loved?
Oh my God. Well, I was a really big NSYNC fan growing up.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I loved Lance Bass. I thought we were gonna get married.
Lance is fun. And honestly, I don't think it wasn't fair like that the other guys didn't get to sing as much. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Joey Fatone actually had a really great voice, and so did Chris, but it was all Justin and JC. I actually saw a video last night, and it was this guy, and he was playing Justin Timberlake, and he was playing JC Chazé, and he was doing the parts in Bye 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 when Justin's just doing these little ad libs, but then JC comes in with this big, like, obviously like these magic vocals and stuff. But I've seen Justin Timberlake in concert more times than I could count.
Really?
He's the most I've ever seen.
I love it. And how do you feel about like all the Justin, Janet, Britney stuff that's kind of been bubbling up?
Here is how I feel. Oh my God. Maybe it will get me canceled one day. I don't know.
I can feel you getting emotional. I'm here for it. I get it.
I feel like this. Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears started dating. Like they had this childhood love. They started dating when they were what? Like probably 16, 17 years old.
17, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bro, if I was like if I was judged on my decisions of what I was doing and when I was dating when I was 16 and 17, like never mind being under the scrutiny of being public figures since you're children and like the microscope under your relationship. Do I think, Justin Timberlake kind of, I mean, she cheated on him. She was the one that cheated on him with Wade Robeson, a friend. You may know him from what is it, Finding Neverland
yes.
Escaping Neverland.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Leaving Neverland.
Or I was gonna say the "It's Gonna Be Me" video, but also Michael Jackson.
He was one of the two people that came in the Michael Jackson documentary. I could only watch the first part of it, but the Janet Jackson thing, he definitely was older, could have, like, he was in that with her, and then he got the Super Bowl years later. Like that to me was like kind of a shitty move on his part. But the Britney Spears stuff, I don't blame him as much for that because he was just a young kid.
I'm with you. And I'm seeing Janet Jackson in May. I violently defend Janet
at the
Jackson.
Garden.
Oh yeah, baby. There's tickets to the second night.
I know. I honestly I looked them up the other day.
I love her.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. The thing about them being kids, and also he's just benefiting off a misogynist society, It was like it wasn't just him being like, oh, I guess I'm gonna come out looking the cool one or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just us as a culture treated these women fucking horribly.
Yes.
And but the Janet Jackson thing, it pisses me off. It's not even like what happened back then, yes, but the fact that he got to do the Super Bowl again, not saying he didn't do great, but I was so fucking mad sitting at that Super Bowl watching him. And I loved Justin. I loved him and him doing the Super Bowl and not addressing any of the Janet thing or anything, them still not letting Janet come back. There was rumors that Rihanna was going to bring Janet out, and that would have like kind of tempered some of the rage that I have about the whole situation, but because I'm a big football fan, so it's like layers. It's layers to these emotions, but yeah. So the Super Bowl thing, I'm totally with you. That's the one where I'm like, man, fucking Justin, come on,
I think in our lifetime, that's so cool that you're going to the concert. By the way, are you going to see Madonna?
No, I'm not as much a Madonna. I'm so much more an R&B leaning girl. Like this year, I'm seeing Beyonce and Janet,
Good for you.
I'm a Britney over it because it's like more R&B. That's my thing.
Yeah. I think in our lifetime we will see Janet at the Super Bowl once.
I really hope so.
Especially after this tour. I bet you it just puts her back in the ether. She releases some more music, and I bet you in our lifetime there will be a redemption for Janet. Start the hashtag now. Redemption for Janet. But yes, you were saying that you're a big football fan, and you do That's okay. That's okay. Like it sucks that, and that's another thing of misogynistic culture. It's like women don't get to enjoy sports the way men do because we're supposed to be in the kitchen.
Oh yes, that and also like they're horrible to women, and then I have to
Yes.
like, oh great, I support this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
insane. It's insane. Yes, I am a huge football fan. I am a Washington Commanders fan. I was
Oh,
born and raised
amazing.
in the DMV. So yeah, we finally changed the name, so it's like a little easier to support them, but we're still a very problematic organization.
Yeah.
um
But
you know
that team, someone from my high school was put on that team when the name was back in the day.
yeah.
But it would have been, I think, maybe 2011-ish. Rob
Hmm.
Jackson, if that sounds familiar to you, that name, but he was on that team. Um, so talk to
I
me a little bit
don't.
about NFL fan therapy.
Oh yes. So that well, this kind of yeah, really random. Just like a
Yep.
comedian friend recommended me years ago because they needed a Washington fan. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, I'll come do whatever this thing is. And it
Yeah.
ended up now it's like a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a sketch series we all do together. It really does help a lot ease the kind of frustration I have because I get to make fun of everything fucked up that happens in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because like, half of it is improv, but I do like write some things down because I'm
Hmm.
like just the catharsis of getting some of my anger out
Yeah.
towards Roger Goodell and the entire organization.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder, my owner. Yeah, so I love it. I love it. I've truly always loved football, and it's just like my family all loved football. My
Yeah.
family all used to have season tickets. It's just like part of how I grew up. And sometimes I wish I could change it, and I wish I didn't care because there's a lot of heartache involved in being
Yeah.
a big sports fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. There's to me, there's nothing better than like sitting at a bar or in a parking lot on a Sunday, like drinking while the games are on, while the games are
Yeah.
starting. Like it's the camaraderie. I don't know. The fandom of it is so fun. And
The hopeful energy of a win too, right? With
oh,
everybody's like
oh,
on the same, everybody in that parking lot is like hoping for the same thing.
listen, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl this year. They're in my division, and we beat them this
Yeah.
year. And that was my Super Bowl. You get
Yeah.
like your little wins throughout the year that you're like, oh, this feeling is so fun.
Yeah. And it just makes, honestly, having football, I know so many people love football, and like having that in the winter and like the fall and the winter, like every week, and it's multiple days a week. It's like people really, love it. And it just, I don't know,
Yes,
stuff
yes.
like that makes I feel like more things in life should be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like just everybody.
Yeah, well, it's like why I love pop culture so much too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, the moments that like bring us up. Like, I mean, I know you remember when every year Britney did the VMAs. You
Yeah.
went to school after, and it was like,
Yeah.
did you see what she did on the VMAs? It was like,
Yeah.
those moments in life are like, I don't know, so fun. I love it.
I every year say I'm gonna be Britney Spears in the "I'm a Slave for You" video. I'm like, I'm gonna do that costume. I look it up. I'm like looking on Etsy. I'm looking on Amazon. I never do it because I'm never like, it's October. It's like the
I
summer's
just got
over.
chills. I just got chills. You have to do that.
I'm
You
gonna do
have
it
to
one
do
year.
that.
I'm gonna do it one
Okay.
year. I'm gonna do it one
I
year.
was I was the baby one more time video, Brittany, the schoolgirl, not seventh grade and eighth grade. It
Okay.
came out when I was in like sixth grade. I
Yeah.
was just like couldn't get over the impact of that music
It
video.
was so good. It's still I still put that song on playlists. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's so
Now
good.
doing NFL fan therapy, have any football players ever reached out? Have you ever met any football players? Anything like that happen to you?
Well, speaking of wild nights, I used to be like a shot girl at a Washington bar in New York City.
Oh, really?
Like sell t-shirts and sell shots and stuff. So I did meet Chris Cooley, who used to play for Washington. He's very
Hmm.
cool. I met a few like other players. just from that, but never has any player reached out. And I'm like, come on, guys, we're getting views. Like, let me hang out one time. I'm like, please. It is funny though, because these are like, we're talking about the two like opposite sides of my personalities.
Yeah.
So like fans of NFL Fan Therapy will come to a show, and it's so nice. It's so fun, and it's so lovely. And I'm like very like honored that people would like spend time coming to see me do comedy because they like the fantasy. But I'm like, I'm gonna talk about Britney. Like I don't really do, you know what I mean? I'm like, my two fandoms don't necessarily align perfectly. So it is pretty funny. But I so badly I want this is what I'm going to manifest for my future. I want my team to be sold, and I want them to bring me on for like I don't know. I'll make social media videos. I'll do anything. I will do anything for that organization as long as we have a new owner. I just please, for the love of God, I want to hang out with Terry McLaurin. Okay,
and you're gonna do it.
Chase Young and I should be friends.
You're gonna do
one
it.
day.
You have to keep putting it out there. You do. You have to keep putting it out there and like, you know, doing what you got to do. That's all it is. Words are spells.
It is. It's true. It's true.
Courtney, do you have anything else right now that you want to promote? Tell people to follow. Where can people find you? Give us your rundown.
Yes, you can follow me at Courtney Maginnis on all social media. Bitch, I just got on TikTok, so that's really exciting. I'm like, come on, little Gen Z kids, fucking follow me, all right? Tell your friends. But if you live in the New York City area, I have a weekly show on Wednesdays at Let's See What Else. It's super fun. It's all in my Instagram and all my bios and everything. And that's it for right now.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, Courtney, this was such a pleasure, such a nice way to spend a Saturday morning with a like-minded lady. I really appreciate you doing the show, and you and I will talk soon, okay?
Yes, thank you so much, Rocky. It was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for doing the show. We'll talk soon.